Hello everyone, X-Wall-Kill Bethelite here, and I want to know what everyone thinks about this concept. You can be Christian, you can be, but I was about to say Buddhist and Muslim at the same time. I was about to say Boozlam. That's a new religion, Boozlam. I'm about to start that, Boozlam. I like Boozlam, but you can be Muslim, Buddhist, atheist. The concept is something that everybody can grasp. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 12, where it basically says, what you want done to you, do to other people. If you don't want that type of energy coming back at you, don't put that type of energy out at other people. Jehovah's Witnesses have had people feel sorry for them because of what happened with regards to Russia and what has happened in other places. And you shouldn't really feel sorry for them according to the whole concept, that scripture plus the whole concept behind it. If you don't want to go and get attacked by a bear, then don't poke the bear. I mean, there's been people who have driven their cars through a animal safari. You know, I'm talking lions and bears and everything. And they have gotten out of the car. There's a video of a woman getting out of the car when she drove through a safari, and she gets attacked by a lion. She literally gets grabbed by a lion. Millions of people saw that video when it came out. And I think the majority of people are thinking, hey, if you don't want to get attacked by a wild animal, don't go drive to a safari where there are wild animals and then hop out of the car. Like, if you don't want something to happen, it's almost the concept of karma. And you can use, if you're not a Christian, Buddhist, if you're not religious, you can use that scripture there. You can use common sense with that. You can use pure logic with that. If you don't want it back at you, don't put it out at others. Jehovah's Witnesses have been attacking other religions from their inception. Jehovah's Witnesses have been attacking other religions from its inception, not just in its literature, calling them all kinds of different things, false religion, being led by Satan. And they say that about the governments also, that the governments are pretty much controlled by the devil. Babylon the Great, calling them Babylon the Great. Jehovah's Witnesses have been on attack mode since their beginning. And once they start getting that energy back at them, oh, we're victims. Oh, we just want to worship and peace. No, they won't let nobody else worship in peace. They will literally persecute their own members if they decide to just go visit a church. Think about it. If they just want to go visit a church, heck, if their job had them do the plumbing at another church, they would persecute them. Matthew 7:12. Karma. I'm not saying Matthew 7:12 teaches karma. I'm saying Matthew 7:12 covers, hey, if you don't want people persecuting you, don't persecute other people. Karma covers the whole concept of what you put out comes back. And then just pure logic. I'm talking different beliefs. I'm talking Christianity, Buddhism. If you're an atheist and you just use science, you attack people enough, that's going to eventually come back at you. You don't get along with the other kids in the class, yeah, that might not turn out too well for you eventually. So from any angle you want to look at it, Jehovah's Witnesses have earned all the persecution and criticism that comes their way, because they attack other groups that don't do anything to them. Had Russia not banned Jehovah's Witnesses still would have been talking bad about the Orthodox Church there. Jehovah's Witnesses still would have been persecuting any of their members that went to go visit an Orthodox church just to go look at it on the inside, or whatever the case may be. Jehovah's Witnesses would have essentially persecuted any of their family members that were Orthodox Christians trying to attack their religion, essentially. Or not really visit their relatives and family members and friends that were Orthodox Christians. I mean, Jehovah's Witnesses have got to be the most persecutive religion there is when it comes to other churches. The difference is Jehovah's Witnesses are the smallest kid in the class. So when they get it back, it's worse on them. Jehovah's Witnesses are the student. Let's follow this illustration. You have a classroom. You have students in the classroom. You have a student that's smaller than anybody else in the class. And the smallest student in the class has something negative to say about everybody else. Jehovah's Witnesses, a small religion, has got something negative to say about everybody else. Don't you think when it comes back to them, it's going to come back worse? They're the smallest group in the class. You're the smallest student in the class. You upset anybody, they're going to throw you through the window because you're too small. It's pure logic. Jehovah's Witnesses bring these sorts of things on themselves. They're a small group, and they were saying negative things about the Orthodox Church. Even if the Russian government didn't do anything about them, they still would have been believing and teaching that the Russian government was run by the devil. They would have been saying negative things about everybody in every country they're in, and that's not going to fly everywhere. Just like if you had kids, and you had kids that like to talk about other people and like to talk loud about other people, you would have to teach that kid, hey, things are not going to go well for you because everybody's not going to allow that. So Jehovah's Witnesses like to go against the government and teach that the government is run by the devil, including the American government, including the government that gives them the freedoms to go knocking on everybody's doors and standing next to carts. Do you know how stupid you have to be to be protected by a government? Your cult is protected by a government, and you're telling your members that the government that's protecting your cult is in all the freedoms that you have to go and do what you do without anybody bothering you is run by the devil. If they were run by the devil and the devil was against your religion, probably they wouldn't do that. They probably wouldn't protect you. So let's put the stupidity of it all aside and just look at the common sense that if you are this small group and you keep poking at the bear, driving to the safari and hopping out the car and dancing in front of all the animals. I'm small, I can't defend myself against you. I'm gonna dance around and bait you, and then you finally get attacked. You can't feel sorry for them. You can't feel sorry for them. When the woman, you just look this up on YouTube about the woman who got out of the car during at a safari, and a lion comes and grabs her and takes off, or a tiger, one of them grabs her and takes off. Look at the comments, scroll through the comments. A lot of people are, hey, this is what you get when you hop out of a car at a safari. I think what happened is there was some kind of an argument and somebody wanted to be dramatic and they couldn't wait until they left the safari to be dramatic. Like, wait till you leave the safari, then hop out the car and throw a temper tantrum. But no, they wanted to throw it at the safari and they got mauled. And one of their relatives got killed. And people are blaming it on the girl who got out at the safari. They're not blaming the mom who ran out to help her and got killed. They're blaming her for bringing that upon them. Jehovah's Witnesses, they could just be peaceful like everybody else. They could be like a Baptist and go to a Baptist church, have prayer, and worry about Baptist things. That's what Jehovah's Witnesses could do. They could go to a Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall and worry about Jehovah's Witnesses. But no, they have to talk bad about everybody else. They have to go door to door, and we who were members are fully aware that if a person tells them, I have a church, that wasn't enough. We had to try to tear that person away from that church. We were bothering everybody else. People have things that they do in different countries, such as Pledge of Allegiance, different things like that. Jehovah's Witnesses, where we're going to stand out in this crowd in front of everybody and go against that. Well, you can do that in America, but you do stuff like that in other countries, it's not going to go well. So it's like you get up in front of everybody and just dance in front of persecution and say, persecute me, persecute me. We're going to do everything humanly possible to lash out at everybody else. Jehovah's Witnesses shun their own members. You know what I mean? Like they shunning within families is essentially Jehovah's Witnesses doing the most damage they can do to somebody by law. Like they're not big enough to do anything else. They don't have power in the government to put people in prison for going to another church or something like that. But the hardest they can hit is to shun. If you guys don't do what we want, we're going to do everything we can to make sure your friends and family never speak to you again. Like, that is cold. That is low down. We've already talked about disfellowshipping not really being scriptural. We already did a video about that. But that's dirty and low down to do something like that to people. If you don't want to do what I say, then we're going to make sure you don't talk to your family again. And you got some relatives that may not abide by that. They may speak to their kids anyway, but then a lot don't. I've got a older sister, and yeah, that didn't go well, between her and her dad. And the crazy thing about it is her dad been disfellowshipped himself. So Jehovah's Witnesses, they do everything they can. Matthew 7, about, what you want done to you, do to other people. They've been attacking other religions for as long as we can remember, and they're probably the religion that does the most in attacking other religions. I think the Westboro Baptist Church, they're too small to attack on the same level as Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world attacking other churches. So what they want done to them, they do to other churches. They attack other churches. When somebody attacks them, we shouldn't say a thing. That's what you get. They lash out at other churches. Mormons go door to door and whatnot, like something similar to Jehovah's Witnesses, but Mormons don't attack other churches. Mormons are bigger than Jehovah's Witnesses. Mormons have taken over the state of Utah, essentially. They've got BYU. They've got a whole college that they've built. Mormons are pretty successful. Apparently, it's not necessary for a group of people to lash out and attack every other religion and government on the planet. It's not necessary. They're doing it and it's unnecessary, and it's bringing negativity back on them. In Korea, where pretty much every person of a certain age ends up going to prison if they're a Jehovah's Witness, they're begging Korea to persecute them. For as far as I know right now, the only thing Korea does is the law. If you decide you're not going to obey the laws of the land and do your military service, it may be a year, maybe 2 years, I don't know. If you just decide you're not going to do it, then you're going to go to jail. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses are just dancing in front of Korea. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Send us to jail. You're asking for them to do something to you. So Jehovah's Witnesses are doing things like this all around the world. Eventually, somebody's going to get them. And that's what's happened. The whole concept, if you go campaigning for a butt whooping, you eventually going to get one. That's what's happened to them. Jehovah's Witnesses are not isolated and attacked. Jehovah's Witnesses just get back what they put out. They're not singled out and treated differently. Comment down below, let me know what you think. That's why I don't feel bad when Jehovah's Witnesses get put in prison or something happens to them, because they have been poking at that bear for forever. XWall Kill Bethelite 937-789-4029. We'll discuss it. XWall Kill Bethelite signing out.